Hey, welcome back there, subscribers. We have a big game tonight. 800 points going Rebels and Empire. Major offensive, intercept the transmissions, and rapid reinforcements. And I'll show you the board here and the teams, and we'll get this thing going.
All right, so Mando's coming in here at 793 points, I believe. Lando Calrissian, Sabine with the Darksaber, Clan Wren behind her, 2 other units of Mandalorian Resistance, 5 naked Rebel troopers, and we got the ATRT back there in the corner with his legs. You see him there. And I think he's got that twin laser on him. And Lando, I also believe, has the Inspiring Presence. And that is your 793 points of Rebels. So coming in at 800 points, you've got the Veers team here. 2 ATSTs pretty much loaded out. We've got the Sergeant Armbar driving one of them. And we've got General Weiss driving the other one. One has mortars, but they are pretty pimped out. We've got 6 squads of stormtroopers, all naked. Veers and Bossk. Bossk does have recon intelligence to move up a little bit on the board. And that's it. 800 points of Empire.
So deployment's all set. Let's take a look at the board here real quick and kind of walk through it. I got some terrainized and burned out buildings here of an age long ago. We've got some mounds over here. We've got all the buildings are covered too, obviously. The rock formations there and over there cover too. We have some rough terrain with these blast craters left over from maybe a nuclear war a long time ago. Cover 2 for both the down TIE fighter and the X-Wing. Our 3 objectives here, 1 and 2 and 3 over there. The Rebels decided to deploy as much as they could behind that big rock over there. Not much else they could do. They've got 2 units in reserve over there for rapid reinforcements. Empire went with 1 group over here for reinforcements, and the rest are on the board. So we are ready to get this thing rocking and rolling. Let's get ready to rumble. So round 1 action here. Rebels going with Turning with the Tide, 2 pip card, 4 pip card for the Empire. And let's get this thing going. So orders handed out. Veers took the order for himself, and over here we gave the order to the Rebels, gave it to the ATRT, hoping to get him out of harm's way before the ATSTs load up. So Rebels went ahead and activated the ATRT. 2 moves puts him from back here to up there and out of line of sight of those ATSTs. So Veers activates next for the Empire, a small move up, and does spotter 2, giving aims to the ATSTs, and that's his activation. So Mandalorian's activated next. They were over here, they did a move action and jumped into the building, and that's where they ended. So 2 move actions put the Stormtroopers right up to there on the edge of the building. Rebels pulled a Mandalorian out. They were here, they did 2 moves to get to there, which was actually fortunate because that ATS, he did have a bead on him. But they beat him with the activation, so they're safe for now. Empire went ahead and pulled those Stormtroopers from the stack, and 2 move actions up, and that's where they are. So Rebels will activate this trooper squad here. Not much they can do with that ATST right there barreling down on them. They'll stay put for now and take a standby and a dodge. Empire activated Stormtroopers next. They moved from back there, 2 moves up there, and ending their activation. Rebel troopers activate next, do 1 move, and then they'll take a dodge and stay right there and take their chances out in the open ground. Stormtroopers activate next, 2 move actions put them there, rushing the field, hoping to position themselves for round 2 for that center objective. Sabine activates next, moves up, takes a dodge, ending her activation. So double move puts our Stormtroopers over here into that middle of that crater, ending their activation. So Rebels move and a dodge for those troopers right there. So our first set of reinforcements have arrived. They drop in beyond range 2 of that ATRT right there. Our first set of Rebel reinforcements have arrived. They drop in right there beyond range 2 of all those Stormtroopers. Minor correction, I forgot there was some Stormtroopers right over here, so range 2 would put them right about here. So Bossk finally gets a chance to get into the action. Double move puts him right to there. So Lando finally wakes up from his nap and does a 2 moves, putting him there. He's looking down those ATSTs, but we'll see if how things go for him. He does have the uncanny luck, so let's see what plays out. So finally, the big story of the round is the ATSTs are activating very last, which was lucky for the Rebels. They were able to move most of their guys out of line of sight of these ATSTs. They had some units exposed early, but luck had it on their west side. So this one did load up. It does have line of sight to land way over there with the mortar. I fired, it re-rolled, and it rolled blanks both times, so nothing happens. But a suppression does drop on Lando, or did I have to score a hit for that? So rapid reinforcements drops our troopers into here, beyond range 2 of the stormtroopers on the other side there. And Lando does get a suppression from that suppressive keyword on the mortar, even though it rolled like all blanks twice. So Sergeant Armbar's ATST activates. They did a slight move up a little bit to get the tactical for the extra aim token. So with his aim and spending the aims, he rolled all of this. So we took away 2 for the heavy cover because they're in there. They do have a line of sight through the windows. You can kind of see it, sort of see them in there. And then they rolled, so that's what went through. 2 blocks, so 2 are dead. That didn't work out so well for the Mandalorians. I thought they would have better luck in there, but that is how that ends, and activation is over for ATST. So we're heading towards the cleanup phase here for the end of round 1. Biggest surprise here was the ATSTs just pulling from the stack. They were the last 2 to activate this round, so this one really couldn't do much because by then the Rebels were mostly out of line of sight, or at least this one. The Mandalorians who tried to sneak up here inside that building, unfortunately, were in line of sight of this one here. He saw through the windows at him. He fired his base weapon with all those rerolls, and he killed 2 of them in there. 1 still left. The rest of it's pretty much as is, and we'll see what happens here. Of course, Lando took a suppression over there, and that's kind of where we end it. Round 2, Rebels go with Legacy of Mandalore versus Reptilian Rampage for the Empire. So Bossk does not get his 2 surge tokens for independent surge. Sabine got the order over here, gave herself 2 dodge tokens because she gave an order to those Mandalorians, Clan Wren over there, and this group of Mandalorians over here that aren't dead yet. And that's how we start this round out. Let's get it going. Empire activated these troopers right here. They did a slight move over to here, and then they took a standby because we've got some Rebels coming up on the outside flank there. So 2 move actions put these guys to there from back here, so ending their activation. Empire goes ahead and activates stormtroopers right here. They get themselves an aim token and wind up and take a shot at those Rebels right behind there. They just could see 2 of them, and they got exactly what they needed to kill the 2 because they rolled 4 with the reroll. They got 2 hits and 2 surges, which surged a hit. So 2 went through minus the heavy cover, and then of course 2 didn't block anything. So 2 Rebel troopers are now dead. So troopers get pulled next. They were over here. 2 moves puts them there. Out of line of sight of those ATSTs. So far the stack is working for the Rebels. So stormtroopers activate next. Give themselves a standby and a dodge, and just kind of stay put for right now. So 2 move action puts these Rebel troopers right to there from over there, ending their activation. So Veer's up next for the Empire. He does a spotter 2, aim, and gives himself a dodge token. I thought of moving him up a little bit, but he still doesn't have line of sight to really use that great firepower card next round. So, yeah, that's how it goes. And Rebels activate. They lost their troopers. They were here. They moved up a little bit. Gives them a dodge, ending their activation, keeping them out of line of sight of those stormtroopers. Don't want to activate that standby. So stormtroopers, this squad right here activated next. I thought they might be able to take a shot through the window at the troopers on this side, but the leader here just does not have line of sight to them. So instead, they'll just give themselves a standby and a name token and call it a day. So for the Rebels, Billy D. Williams, a.k.a. Lando Calrissian, comes up here, 2 move actions, puts him right there, and hopefully gets a shot on some of these guys next round. Empire goes back to the stack, and stormtroopers over there, right in here, activate, doing 2 move actions, putting them inside this building. So Sabine goes into beast mode here, does a jump action, putting her there. She takes a shot at these guys, kills 1 thanks to her Pierce 1. Shoots at these guys with Gunslinger. Unfortunately, heavy cover negated the 2 hits she got, and suppression laid on them, and that's how she ended her activation. So General Weiss activates next in his pimped out ATST here named Toxic Terra. He does a little pivot here, and then he takes a shot at Sabine, who he does have line of sight to. She does have heavy cover, so he rolled it out. He had a name from Veers earlier. So, believe it or not, she survived. And I don't know how she did it, but she did it. So, with his rerolls, he got the crit. He had 4 hits and a crit. Now, heavy cover took away 2 of them. Her 2 dodges took away this. The crit went through, but she blocked it. So, she lays down. She gets 2 suppression, and that's kind of it. Rebel troopers are pulled next. They did not pass their rally, so they have 1 action available to them. They go from here to there and call it a day. These fools right here, they moved up a little bit as far as they could with that movement 1 tool being stuck in that quagmire. Now, through this open door, they actually had a clear line of sight to Sabine, and there was like almost nothing blocking it. So she got cover 1 from suppression. They rolled, and these stormtroopers are on fire this game. They rolled this. They got, with no rerolls, no aim tokens, they got 2 hits plus a surge of hits and a crit. So now, light cover took away this one, leaving this. Sabine blocked all 3, but it did lay down suppression on her, and that's kind of where that ended. So remember back to round 1, that one little lone Mandalorian is still stuck in there by himself after his squad was obliterated by that ATST. Well, he finally got pulled from the stack, luckily before that thing pulls, and he did jump 1 up to here, gave him a dodge token, just going to hunker down. So Sergeant, what's his name again? Armbar. He finally gets a chance to activate Arbit Mab. Finally gets to activate. Well, there was nothing in line of sight when he was back over here. He does a slight 90-degree pivot. He does a move and puts him to here, which is a waste of those tacticals, but he's got to move out to get in line of sight of something here to hit, so that's how he ends it. So Clan Wren did a jump action going right over there, and then did a move action putting them over to there to score that objective, hopefully. Now the ATSTs have already activated. They're pretty safe for now. So Bossk activates next, loads up with his mini mortar, his handheld mortar. He's got the range on Sabine, no cover for her, cover 1 for the suppression. So he rolls it out. He did pretty good. He got 2 crits and a hit, so he loses the hit for the light covers. 2 crits go through on that first attack. So Bossk does wind up again on Sabine with that mini mortar, handheld mortar he's got. Rolling it out, not so good this time. It's just 1 hit going through, but enough to lay down 2 suppression on her, and with his second attack from the card. So Bossk does take a wound to get a free attack action per that card. And when it was all said and done, he did put a wound on Sabine, firing at her twice, but he laid down a ton of suppression. She's got a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 suppression now, going into round 3. So Rebels activated their last unit of Mandalorians. They moved up a little bit, keeping them out of line of sight of that ATST. So I don't know whether to admire this guy's bravery or stupidity, because he was back there. He did 2 move actions putting him here. Now the good news is he's out of line of sight currently of this ATST, but not that one. So we'll see how it plays out as he launches himself headfirst into the entire Empire army. So we are now heading into the cleanup phase of round 2. I did misspoke before. What Bossk had was, per his card, he had up to 2 attack actions. He could take a wound to get a free move action. So he did 2 attack actions with his mini mortar and took a wound to get a move action. But he laid down 4 suppression on Sabine that round, which again drove it up to ridiculous proportions. 7 total for her now. That was that correction. Everything else is pretty much what it is. Let me go score this thing now. So we're looking for round 2 units that are in range 1. So Rebels will score this one. The Empire is going to score the middle one, and this one over here. So 2 to 1 Empire going into round 3. Round 3, no brainer here. Maximum firepower for the Empire and similar rebellion for the Rebels. Get those suppression off of Sabine, because she's loaded down to the gills right now. And Veers will try to see if he can get line of sight to get this thing done this turn. So we'll see what happens. So going to the stack, Empire pulled out some troopers here. Took a shot at this ATRT right here. without a name, they did manage to score a crit, believe it or not. ATR did not block it, so these little guys did put a wound on him. They're rolling very well this game. And dodge token, ending their action. So Rebels activates the beam next. She does a move action, putting her base to base with the Bossk. Dark Sabers them. She did score. She surged to crit, so it's going to be 2 crits and 2 hits. He rolled one block, but it doesn't matter because she got Pierce 1 on that, so he takes on another 4 wounds. She lost all her suppression because of that card effect, and took a dodge token, ending her activation. So up next, the Empire pulled a trooper unit, decided to activate these guys over here. They were over there. That one move put them into base to base with Sabine. They took a melee attack on her, 3 black dice. Did score a hit. She rolled a blank, and they actually put a wound on her. Actually, you know what? She can spend that dodge token, I think. She'll spend the dodge token and not take that wound. Cancel out that hit. So that's how it ends. And kind of a careful move here. So when we play our games here at the house and at the store, this kind of terrain, if you go through a door and you're inside the building, you have access to the second floor with just a single move action. So double move action, one puts you inside, other one puts you up top side here, and that's where they'll end their activation, putting them in range 1 of that. Well, trooper units here activated next. Gave them a name token, took a shot at that TRT again. It got cover, but it's got armor. So they, with the reroll, they were fishing for some crits here. They actually managed to get one. Again, they rolled hits and surge to hits and that crit. But the armor takes care of all the hits and the surges. But that crit goes through. The ATRT did not block because ATRT does not have surge to block. So that's another wound going on the ATRT from these little guys over here. So the Rebels activated the ATRT next. It was trying to see if it could reach Veers and go on base-to-base contact. If this hindering terrain wasn't there, he probably could have done it and moved through the stormtroopers and gotten there, but this would be only a speed 1 move. He never would have gotten there. He really couldn't reach these guys. He had to climb over this. It's not gonna work there. So he just went into him. It puts him into base to base. Now he did fire his melee at him. 3 red dice. He did manage to score at least. He got 2 hits. They blocked one with the dodge token, but they blocked the other one, so no wounds go through. But he is in base to base kind of, which is good because now this thing can't fire at him. So Bossk activates next. He was already melee with her. Gives up an aim token. Wound up, and he did score a crit and a hit on that with the rerolls were blanks. She blocked both of them. He regenerated one of those wounds off of him. I did not give him his 2 surges he gets for independent. What is he? Independent surge 2? Yeah. But I don't think the surges would have helped him on when she attacked him. I don't recall him rolling surges on his defense dice. So, anyways, that's where it ends. So Clan Wren activated next. They were over here. Jetpack rockets on those stormtroopers way over there, scoring a hit and a wound on one of them and dropping 2 suppression on them. Kind of waste their jetpack rockets, but they had to get out of line of sight of this ATRT, and I also believe that guy could probably do a turn and also be in line of sight, so that should keep them in the game a little bit longer anyways. So Lando Calrissian is the luckiest man alive. This ATRT, this ATST activated General Sergeant, I call him Armbar. He moved. He got free aim from the tactical 1, so he unloads a clear shot at Lando Calrissian. Man, he should be possibly obliterate this guy. He has 2 weapons to load up with: the twin blaster cannon and the other twin light blaster cannon. The 3, 3, and 3. 3 reds, 3 blacks, 3 whites. All he put on him was 1 wound and literally just 1 suppression. I mean, it was insane how this thing went down. Even with the reroll, look at this. Absolutely horrible. Blanks, blank, blank, surges, blank. Just 3 hits, and of course, with his uncanny luck, being able to reroll twice, he did block 2 of them, only resulting in 1 wound and 1 suppression going down. Like I said, not many men can survive being unloaded on an open ground by an ATST, but Lando is the Mando, so he's the man. Rebel Troopers activate next. They were, if you'll recall, back there. 2 moves puts them in base to base immediately with these stormtroopers, and there's going to be duking it out probably for the next couple rounds. Empire is up next. There was a stormtrooper squad right here. They moved into base to base, joining this big dog pile in here. They did manage to score one hit. The rebels didn't block it, and so one little dude gets clubbed in the head to death like a baby seal, and that is that. So Mandalorians activated next. They were behind here, if you recall. They decided to come out here. They had a line of sight to these guys. They were in range, jetpack rocketed the stormtroopers, and not the ATST, which they probably should have gone for this one because they rolled really well with those 3 red dice. They got a crit and 2 hits without even, So servers blocked none of them. So 3 are dead with suppression, and that's how it'll end. Empire was up next. These stormtroopers were up next. They did not rally, so they only got 1 action. Took a dodge, and I'll sit put to stay within range of that. Even though it's round 3 and this won't be scored, that's okay. They're still there for the future. Well, inspired by Sabine, these rebel troopers here were behind this barricade. They did a speed 1 move over top of it, jumping over top, and running up as far as they can, get into there. Try to help her out, try to survive if this thing activates. We'll see how that goes. This ATST decides to load up on those rebel troopers who just ran the field here. So he loads up. Now they're range 4 for him. So he only had the mortar and his base weapon to fire. He only scored 2 crits and 2 hits. And the rebel troopers, believe it or not, with no dodge tokens or rerolls, they actually blocked all 4 of them. So they will get 2 suppression down. But like I said, that was not how I saw that going. Anyways, that's it. So move action, and he fired, and no wounds, but 2 suppression after all said and done. So Lando was like right here, it's kind of like a barricade. He just did like a speed 1 hop over it, and that put him right to about there. He was in range 3 of Veers. He had a shot at Veers. Veers got heavy cover, but he did roll a crit, so it got through. And with Pierce 1, it's all I needed to put wound and a suppression on the Veers. He did fire a shot at these troopers here. Cover 2, he got 2 hits. They blocked. The cover took care of that, but he laid down a suppression on them. So there you go, ending Lando's activation. So Veers activates next. He gives himself an aim token. He took a shot at Mr. Lando over there, returned fire. He did not do so well. He only rolled 1 hit, even with that reroll from the aim. Cover took care of that, but his suppression does go down on Lando Calrissian. Over here, he played his card at the end of his activation. The only eligible unit he had was these Mandalorians over here in range 4, because Lando is actually in range 3 over there. He couldn't launch it at him. And the troopers behind him, he does not have a clear line of sight to them. So these guys were in range over here. He dropped it on them. Did pretty well. He got, we got 2 crits and 2 hits. They blocked 2 of them. So the 2 wounds there, and a suppression for these Mandalorians over here, ending Veers' activation. So these troopers of the Rebel Alliance, they did 2 moves, putting them right to there, ending their activation. So Stormtrooper Squad, this one over here, activated next, gave himself an aim token, wound up with the rerolls. They scored a hit, a crit, a hit. Rebels not so well on the defense there, 1 surge. Unfortunately, these 3 guys that are left will be dead, and that ends their activation. The Rebels are a little lone Mandalorian left who was hiding out in here. He did a jump right to there, got in the rear firing arc. He loaded up with his base weapon, 2 black dice. He scored a hit, which surged to not surged, but a impact 2. It gave it a crit, so this did not block it, so 1 wound goes through. So last unit for this round was Rebels. They had a group here. They moved them up 1 move, put them here, just out of line side of the ATST. And hopefully in round 4 they'll be able to score this. We'll see how it goes. So we are now heading into the cleanup phase of round 3. And I got to tell you, I thought the Rebels really struggled this game, but they're actually hanging in there. This game is really not over. It's too close to call. There's a 2-to-1 advantage for the Empire, but it's not over yet. Let's see how this thing works. Now this is difficult next round, of course. These guys are sitting ducks out here, but they are in the rear arcs of these things, so that should help them out. The ATSTs have to make some choices here, and to find something to shoot at, they're going to have to move or do a rotation. And yeah, so these guys are actually kind of hanging in there. So we'll see how it goes in round 4. Round 4 gets started. Both had a tie with the pips. Empire played the eyeball to the deal, so the contingencies could not be used for Lando. All of Lando's cards were the contingencies, so that left them with using Sabine, used her pip 1 for the explosions, and of course Covert Ops for the Empire. This card has been errated. I believe it now reads every order the rebels drop down gets suppression with that order. So in this case, just Sabine would get it. Should be arming some thermo charge this turn, and that's where we stand. Now the roll off went down. We did shields for the rebels and blanks for the blanks and surges for the Empire. Empire won the roll off, the first activation. Now let's get this thing going. So Sabine and Bossk got the order. So Bossk does not get his 2 surge tokens for independent surge. So they went to the stack, the Empire did, and they pulled out a trooper unit, aim token, took a shot over here with the rerolls. He'd managed to score 1 surge, which is a hit. He blocked it and 1 suppression. So Rebels pulled from the stack, trooper unit. These guys did a little shuffle over here to see through this little window crack here at these gray troopers here. Took a shot, scored a hit. They blocked it, but his suppression goes down, and that's how that one ended. So Veers was pulled. He has surge to crit. He took a spotter 2 action, spotter for him, spotter for that. He did take that shot over at Lando in that crowded field. Now he had cover 2, didn't matter because Veers did roll a surge, which surges to crit for him. Even with the rerolls, Lando didn't block anything, so a wound goes down and another suppression on him, and that's how that one ended. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So Billy D. Williams winds up. He fires right back at Veers. He's got a range 3. Now he's suppressed, but he's not panicked. So right. So Sharpshooter 2 removes that cover for Veers, and he did get on his rolls. He got 3 hits going through. Veers blocked 2 of them, so Veers took a wound and a suppression on that, and that's kind of how that one ended. So Empire pulled heavy from the stack. It wound up. It can fire at this ATRT because vehicles cannot be engaged. So it can fire ranged at the ATRT, and it did. And it went ahead and blew it off the face of the earth. It fired 3 of its primary weapons. It had the grenade launcher, the light twin cannons, and the regular twin cannons. Had impact 4. Luckily it did because it only rolled out of all that, even with the reroll. Only got 5 hits, but 4 of those go to crits, and you can see that he did roll all blanks. It's dead. So these rebel troopers right here, they were over here. They charged into Bossk to help out Sabine, and they did pretty good. They're black dice. There's 4 of them. They got 1, 2, 3 hits. Bossk did not get any blocks, so put 3 more wounds on the Bossk, and he is now dead. They killed the Bossk before he could activate. So these rebel troopers here, they were over here. They ran up, got into base-to-base contact with stormtroopers, took a punch at them. Did roll 2 crits, but the stormtroopers blocked both of them. So that's how they'll end their activation. They also, in the rally step, they rolled off that suppression to thankfully give them the 2 actions they needed. So stormtroopers here, this gray squad activated next. They did not roll off their suppression, so it stays. They're suppressed, got 1 action, took a blind spot. Even with the cover 2, didn't matter because it did roll a crit in there. So it went through, and the rebels didn't block it, so they killed that poor bald-headed guy over there, laid down a suppression, and that's how it ended. Our lone Mandalorian that was here did a jump, putting them over there. Took a punch at that stormtrooper and scored a crit. Stormtrooper didn't block it, so that's that. And she rolled off her suppression, and she's good to go. He's dead. Up next, Stormtrooper squad here, the green squad. They rolled off 1 of those suppression. Now they were within range of 1 of that graffiti token. I believe it means they roll 1 less dice when they're rolling. So they had 2 suppression. They only had 1 white dice to roll. They got what they needed. They pulled off the 1 suppression. So they only had 1 action. They took a blind shot over there at those guys out in the open. Those rebel troopers scored. These stormtroopers are really good tonight. Without any rerolls, they got a hit and 2 crits and 1 block, so 2 of them are now dead with a suppression. So this Mandalorian here activated next, did 2 move actions from over here, got to over here, and that's where they'll end it. So these stormtroopers right here, they activated next, took an aim token, took a punch over here at these rebel troopers. Didn't score, they got 2 hits, and the rebel troopers blocked 1 of them, so one guy got knocked out, cold cocked, and that's how that ended. So Clan Wren activates, finally sneak around from over here all the way around to there, ending their activation. So the AT-ST activated next, and it moved. So Sergeant A in there, a tactical 1 gets a tactical for the move, puts him right up here, and these guys are just dead. He unloaded on them. Well, it's not even close. Like, I mean, with that reroll, it was like, I think 7 hits and crits going through, and they only blocked 1 of them. So they are dead. Wiped off the face of the earth. Well, in this case, Mars. So it's Sabine time. Even though she got an extra dice for her rally step being within 1 of that graffiti token, she rolled blank, so the suppression stayed. But so she's courage 2, so it doesn't matter. It's both actions. Her first was to arm the thermal detonators in range 1, dropping them there and over there. And then first action. Second action was Darksaber, these stormtroopers she was engaged with. She rolled, let's see, she got 2 hits and a crit. They rolled 2 blocks. She got Pierce 1, so only 1 block. 2 are dead, and that's how her activation will end. So these troopers here, they were there. They had to move up to get a clear line of sight to those 2 troopers there. Took a shot, scored 2 hits, but they lost 1 for the light cover, and so yeah, so just 1 hit goes through, killing 1 of them, laying a suppression down, which was unfortunate because where they were, they can only see the leader, not the other guys. They want to get a shot at both of them, so that's how that went down. So these stormtroopers finally activated the last one for the round. They were over here, short movement tool, they were about here, moved to there. They didn't range 1 of this, which they wanted to prevent the rebels from scoring. They had a 3-2 advantage at the time. They took a blind shot at that guy, managed to kill him just barely, crit and a hit go through. He did get light cover, canceling out the hit, but the crit, they didn't block it, so he's dead. And the Empire will definitely get the points this round for that. Okay, so round 4, heading into cleanup phase now. Let's score this out because we scored in rounds 2, 4, and 6. These objectives are worth 1 point again, or 1 point in round 4. So we've got 2 unit leaders here in range 1, 1 for them in range 1. Empire gets a point for this one, and Empire gets a point for this one now because they killed off that other unit leader over there. They've got 1, 2, 3, and the rebels only have 2, so they'll score this one as well. And nobody scores this one. There's nobody even in range 2. This thing took out the guys that were hiding back here. So that's where that goes. 2 more for the Empire. So start of round 5. Basically what happened was Veers played this one. The Rebels played Sabotage Communications. He didn't want to do this one. He went to his contingencies. So he went to this one, his contingency, which gives him... he had all the pips in his discard pile. It gives him like 3 dodges, 3 aims, and he got the order. And then, of course, Veers gave it to both vehicles. And there's Lando with all his stuff he got this turn. So we'll see how that goes. And off we go. That shifty Lando activated first for the Rebels. He did a move action, putting him to there. He did take 2 shots. He's got Gunslinger this round for the card. He did take 2 shots at these 2 Stormtrooper units over here. Did really well. He got, without any rerolls, he got 2 hits on the first attack, and he got 2 hits on the second attack. They blocked 1, but Lando has Pierce 1, so 2 go down. They blocked 1, but again, he has Pierce 1, so 2 go down. And that was the end of his activation. So the stack, these troopers here activated next. They were over here. They know she's going to detonate this round, so they got to hightail it out of there. They're going to try to score this in round 6. Remember, there is no scoring in round 5, so it's all setting up for the future here. So our Mandalorian here, the lone guy left in the unit, activated next. Gives up a dodge token. He's the last one with jetpack rockets. He fired what he had, 1 red dice over at those stormtroopers. They blocked it, but his suppression gets laid down, and ending their activation. Veer's up next for the Empire. He gave Spotter 1, aim token to him, aim token to over there. He takes a shot at that Mandalorian that has not activated yet. He 3 white dice. He had to re-roll, thank goodness, because he had to get 1 surge out of it, which surges to crit for him. They're impervious, getting 2 defensive dice for this one, but 1 block doesn't matter. He has Pierce 1, so it's dead. So going to the stack, Clan Wren activates next in a move action, which was key because I believe, according to the rules, this would only get to do a 90-degree pivot for an action. So even with 2 pivots, you watch it here, it would take to get in line of sight of them. So they wouldn't have to worry about this round. They moved, take a shot at these guys, and did really well. So Clan Wren basically scored a ridiculous amount of surges to hit for them. So it was like 7 hits all around. They blocked 4 of them, but 3 are dead. So that's how that one ended. So Stormtroopers activate next. They did not rally, so they are still suppressed. They only had 1 action available to them. Decided to take a pot shot up there. That's all they really can do with this little guy up here. He's got cover 2. They're fishing for crits. They didn't get him, so nothing happens there. So Sabine activates next. She was here. Darksabers this guy to death. I didn't roll that great with those 5 black dice. Got a crit and a hit. He blocked 1 of them, but she has Pierce 1, so he's dead anyways. Then she does a move action to put her in base with these Stormtroopers. Still hasn't detonated these yet because she's still in range 1 with the wounds. And that's kind of where that one ends. So the ATST winds up. It gave itself another aim token. It had 2 really viable targets in range 3. It had Lando and those Rebel Troopers out there. They would have been an easier target, but just couldn't resist Lando Calrissian out in open ground. So they unleashed. He's in range 3. Their base weapon and their light twin blasters. So it's like 3 reds, 3 blacks, 3 whites. Had some re-rolls there, and all that being said, it was a hit, 4 hits and a crit. The dodge tokens took care of those 3 hits, leaving just a hit and a crit to go through. With his Lando's uncanny lucky blocked 2 of them. Suppression goes down, so he survived yet again an attack from one of these beasts. And some of you are probably wondering, well, gee whiz, he's got Arsenal 4 with General Weiss in there, and he does have the mortar and the grenade launcher. That's true, but again, these guys aren't in range 2 of the grenade launcher, and the mortar is only 4 and beyond, and he doesn't have the right arc to get to anybody over there or over to here without pivoting. So that's kind of what happened there. So our lone rebel trooper up here, perched up in this crow's nest up here, he's going to activate, gives himself an aim token, took a shot down here with his 1 black dice. He got a crit actually, but they blocked it. And he got a suppression on him. That's all that happened there. These guys are still alive, but that's it for him. He'll just flip this over, and he is officially done. These Stormtroopers went ahead and activated next. They rolled off 1 of the suppression on the rally step, leaving 1 suppression behind. Just 1 action available to them. They decided, you know what, just do it. They've been rolling well all game. With their 2 white dice, took a blind shot over there at Lando Calrissian. They got another crit, believe it or not. Of course, he blocked it with the uncanny luck again, saving him, but they got a suppression laid down on him, and that's where that one ends. So Rebel Troopers over there activated. Thanks to that graffiti token, gave an extra white dice for the rally step. They were able to roll off that suppression. Gave themselves an aim, loaded up, and took a shot over here. They scored with their 3 black dice, the re-rolls, 2 hits. But they get light cover. Oh, actually, he's not dead. I forgot. They get light cover. So they did roll, let's see, 2 hits, a block, and light cover would mean they survive with suppression. So that was how that one ended. So the Stormtroopers in base to base, duking it out with Sabine over here, activated next. Aim token, fired those 4 black dice at her. They did score. The surges go to hit, and the reroll was a blank on that one over there. And they block 2 of them. Sabine will take a wound. And that'll end their activation. So, here's the thing. It's round 5. There's no trooper units anywhere over here. If he pivots 90 degrees twice, he'll have line of sight to these guys, but then he can't fire at them. So it just doesn't do any good. He might as well sit there because this prevents them from trying to jump over and score that next turn or get a shot at them. So I think he's just going to stay where he is. So cleanup phase, round 5. We'll start the cleanup here in a second. So it's not over yet. I mean, the Rebels actually have a chance, I think, because in round 6, everything's worth 2. If they can somehow keep that guy alive and somehow pick off these 2, that could be 2 for them. And then they might be able to, with the numbers and the trooper units, they might be able to score this one. And if Clan Wren can somehow get over in range 1 of that one, they could score all 3, scoring 6 points, and that would give them a total of 7 to the Empire's current of 4. So this thing, believe it or not, is not over yet. Here we go, round 6. So originally Lando was going to play Covering Fire, but they were playing Imperial Discipline. He didn't like it. He went all in. Contingency was over here, which basically means he gave out observation tokens to everybody within range 3 in line of sight, which was, as you can see, I'm short on observation tokens. I only had supposed to 2 for each unit, but affected, but I only have 1. Remember, these are 2 each. So basically, all got them over here. This one didn't. It wasn't in line of sight. I gave the orders to himself. This guy was just in range 3 for the order, and I think he gave the other one to Sabine. And of course, Veers had himself and 2 units. He gave this one and that one over there. So that's how it goes. Let's get this thing going. Okay, so the roll-off, they were tied at 3 pips, 3 pips. The roll-off went to the Empire, and you know what they're going to do? I think this is going to be a really sleazy move. I think it's legal to do it. If I'm not, please correct me in the comments, but this ATST could activate. And I believe with its movement, it could go into base-to-base contact with Sabine. These guys will get displaced, but it's your own guy doing it, so I'm not sure the Rebels would displace them or the Empire would, but needless to say. But if he does do this, if he gets in base-to-base there, that would allow him to use his melee weapon as one of his arsenal 4s. And then allow him to just go ahead and use the grenade launcher maybe on the Rebels over there, and then light up Lando Calrissian in the center with the remaining 2 weapons. And let's do it. Okay, so phase 1 was completed. Now he had the short movement tool because moving through this rough terrain. It was just enough though. He got in base-to-base with her. They were displaced, but they're still in base-to-base with her. And now he can go ahead and open up and unleash hell on all of these Rebels. Okay, so we're dividing up the attack pool. We have Arsenal 4 with General Weiss in there. So the melee was the first Arsenal on her. So they rolled 4 red dice, scored without any reroll, scored 4 hits. She blocked 3 of them, so she'll take a wound. Okay, now we'll do the next dice pools for our other targets out there. So the dice pool was adjusted because it decided let's throw everything at Lando Calrissian. All 3 remaining weapons that are range 2 or have range 2 to them. We put them in there. That was it was this one, and that one. Blast to ignore the suppression you already had, so he won't get cover for that. So it loaded up with all those dice, and let's see how that played out. Well, 3 crits, 2 hits. With his re-rolls, he blocked 3 of them. He took 2 wounds. Now he has 4 wounds, but he's still alive and still kicking, and that will definitely end the ATST's activation. So the Mandalorian activated. She was over here. She moved over here to get in cover. Took a shot because he had 2 observation tokens on him from Lando. Even with those re-rolls, she scored the 2 hits that she surges to hit. He blocked both of them, and he will get a suppression, and that ends that activation. So the Stormtroopers over here activated next. They did not roll off that suppression. 1 action, fired blind, 2 white dice up there. He's got cover 2, and not enough. Looking for crits, didn't get it. Any other activation, and this guy is still alive. Our lone little trooper left up here. He took a shot. He gave himself an aim token. He rolled a hit with the reroll, but they blocked it, so suppression goes down, leaving that one as is. So Veers will activate next. He gave himself an aim, did not use spotter because it was no one else in range 1. Anyways, he's deciding, you know what? Let me see if I can kill Lando Calrissian right here, right now. I believe he has 4 wounds already. 1 more should kill him. And let's cut the head off the snake. This is probably for the game here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whoa! Veers comes through with a crit and a hit. And then he's going to re-roll this one here. Okay, nothing there. So, oh boy, this might be it. All right, Lando. Blocks 1. He gets to re-roll up to 2. He rolls this one here. Blocks it. Oh, Lando survives. Well, not so fast. Remember, Veers does have Pierce 1, so a wound will go through. But Lando has actually a 6 wound threshold. Boy, he is tough to kill. He's still in the game. Wanted to wait on Lando, but with only 1 wound left, he probably should go now before someone might get a lucky shot and kill him. So he's got he rolled off one of his suppression, had an extra dice thanks to that graffiti token. So he'll get both of his actions. So Lando decides to he gets both actions. He winds up, takes a shot at these guys over here. He's got Pierce 1. Using those observation tokens to his advantage, he did score. He got a surge to crit and a hit. They blocked 1, but he's got Pierce 1. They are both dead, and he gave himself a dodge token, and that's how that went. So Stormtroopers come up next. They give themselves an aim token, take the best punch they can at Sabine there. So with the reroll, they did pretty well. They got surge to hit, so it's going to be 3 hits and a crit. She rolled, and she did pretty well. She blocked 3 of them, so only 1 wound, and she has 5 wound threshold, so she's still alive and kicking. So up next, the Rebels went to the stack and pulled a trooper. Lucky for them they did, because they did not want to pull Clan Wren and force them to have to force that move before this thing activates. So luckily, they're holding off on the side for now. This thing over here, they moved into base-to-base contact, joining this big dog pile here in the middle, and they did fight. They got 2 crits on their 3 black dice, but they blocked both, so that's how that thing ended. I spoke too soon on that last attack, so I forgot there was observation tokens. There are 2 of them. With those, that would mean there was a reroll there coming. That puts him at 3 crits, and that would definitely kill at least 1 of them. So 1 Stormtrooper was killed on that, which might be significant because Sabine is trying to kill these guys to get out of there. So let's see. The Empire has no more units in the cup to pull from. They have to go ahead and activate the ATST now, and this really sucks because it's totally wasted. I mean, if they go ahead and burn 2 move actions on 2 pivots to get in line of sight of them, they can't fire anything. So it does nothing. It's just leave it there, and that's it. So Clan Wren activates. They 2 move actions, puts them right there, and they were going to take a fun shot in the back, in the rear arc of it with the impact, but nah, waste time on it. There they go, they land it. So the Rebels might actually win this. They've got this one locked up for 2 because the vehicles don't score. They've right now, with Lando and these troopers being alive, they've got a 2-to-1 advantage on the middle one. Sabine has yet to activate. If she can somehow, with a Darksaber, kill those 3 guys, and that will allow her to make a move action, putting her in range 1 of this one, they can score this one. I believe she has the range to get there. So if she can kill these guys here, the Rebels will definitely come from behind and take this thing. So wait, thinking this over, she could detonate these 2 charges. Doesn't cost her an action to do it. She could do it. And the problem is, they're all in range 1s. They're all going to take damage. And I think it might kill Lando too, potentially. He's in range 1 also of it. He is with both of them. So, yeah, she better not. It's had to be Darksaber. I think the observation tokens were burned on these Stormtroopers already by the previous attack. Might be 1 more, but we're going to go ahead and roll it out and see what happens here. So Sabine so far has got the 2 hits and surge to crit already. And that's 3, enough to kill them if they all roll blanks. She had to, I couldn't remember if these troopers still had observation tokens on them or they burned up by the rebel troopers from the previous attack. So I did try 1 reroll, but it didn't matter, it was a blank anyways. And here we go. Well, she kills 1 of them. She's still stuck with them. Correction, with Pierce 1, she'll kill 2 of them. Oh, wait. No. Pierce 1 will kill that one, but 1 block goes through. That means that 2 will die, and that 1 will still be there. So unfortunately, she cannot move out of that engagement. She, because to move out of a melee, you got to burn. If you're a trooper, you got to use 2 actions for a short move. She can't do it. She could try to, again, right now she could try to detonate these charges here to kill that guy, so she could move, but she might wind up killing Lando, and then Actually, yeah, she probably should, but she might kill herself. She only has 1 wound left, too. And I think she's in range of both detonations. Let's see. So she's definitely in range of... Let's do the math here. So if she doesn't thermodetonate and just ends it right there, what will they score? They'll score 2 for this one. They've got 2 for this one. And it's a tie for this one. It's 4 points. It would end in a tie. Actually, no, they win. So they don't have to do anything. They're done. It's game over. Right, so it's 4-1 going into this round. So as it sits right now, she doesn't have to get over there. The Rebels will win this. They're going to pick up 2 from this one. 2 from this one's 4. And of course, these was a tie because they're both in range 1. Nobody gets that one. And they had, it was 4-1. Yeah, 4-1 going in, plus 4 points, 5-4. Rebels take it, 5-4. And I gotta tell you, I am surprised. I thought that for sure the Empire would crush them, but they didn't. And game over.